Hello friends, welcome back to lecture number 12 related to Java programming. In this lecture we are going to discuss about our fourth pillar of object-oriented programming, that is abstraction. Then we are going to discuss about the difference between abstract classes and abstract function in Java programming language. As recall previously, we have seen three different pillars. We have seen the example of encapsulation, then we have seen syntax for the inheritance, then we have seen the syntax for the polymorphism. In this lecture, we are going to discuss in detail about the abstraction. So abstraction is basically a fourth principle of object-oriented programming, or it's the fourth pillar of object-oriented programming. Basically the concept of abstraction is it's all about data hiding, how we are going to hide our functions from another classes. So abstraction is sometimes also known as the data hiding, and basically abstraction hides complex detail in order to reduce the complexity for just one class. Okay, so there are some rules for the abstract classes that we need to remember before implementing it into our Eclipse IDE. First rule is that if you want to achieve the abstraction in your classes, so an abstract class must be declared with an abstract keyword. Okay, so rule number one is that if you want to perform data hiding, or if you want to achieve the abstraction in your code, then first thing is that make that class abstract. Rule number two is that it can have abstract and non-abstract method. If you declare a class abstract, then according to rule number two, now you can add some abstract method, those method which have the keyword abstract, and you can also add non-abstract method like normal member function in your class. And rule number three is that it cannot be instantiated. It means like interface classes, which we already seen for multiple inheritance, you cannot instantiate. You cannot instantiate, it means you cannot create the object for your abstract class. Abstract classes are restricted. If you use the keyword abstract with the abstract class, then you cannot create the object for your abstract class. And rule number four is that it can have the final methods, means abstract class can contain the final keyword. In next slide I am going to discuss what the final keyword is. And point number five is that it can have constructors and static members also, means abstract class contain the constructors, means it can contain both parameterized and default constructor. Furthermore, it can have the static method also. So this is all about the abstract class structure, what you need to add in your abstract classes in order to achieve the abstraction. So what is the final keyword? It is an important keyword especially in Java programming language that facilitate the user in different parts of the coding. For example, the final keyword in Java is used to restrict the code. For example, you can use final keyword with the variables, means normal data members or normal fields, or with the instance variable you can use the final keyword. It restricts some users. Okay, so similarly you can use the final keyword with the classes. And third, you can use the final keyword with the methods as well. If you use you can use in all three different ways final keyword. So let's move toward the example of the final keyword. This is the code number one. Here you can see that the code in the red color, it's basically using the final keyword. In case number one, if you use the final keyword with integer, in this case I have used integer a with the final keyword. So if you use final keyword with normal variables, then in code if you want to change this value of a, for example in void f function, I am going to use to assign the value of a, and I'm going to assign value here a equals to 2 and b equals to 5. and already I have used the final key. I have used final keyword with my variable a. It means that final variable cannot be modified. Means if you use the final keyword with variable, it remains constant. Means you cannot even change that value inside some function. Similarly, case number 2, you can use the final keyword with class, and whenever you use the final keyword with the class, then what happens, it will not allow the user to extend that class. It means you cannot perform the inheritance if your class is containing the final keyword. Third case is that if you are going to use the final keyword with the function, normal member function, then if you used final keyword with your function, then it not allow you to override that method. It means you cannot use same method in your child class with the same name and the same parameters. It means you cannot achieve runtime polymorphism mechanism if you used final keyword with your methods name. Okay, so these are three different keywords. These are the three different situations where you can use the final keyword. So it means if you use final keyword with the variables, you cannot change that values for the variable. This is case number 1. If you use the final keyword with the parent class, you cannot inherit that class in future. Similarly, if you use final keyword with the method, then you cannot override that method. Okay, so these are three different syntax that we can use with the different scenarios. We are moving toward our abstract classes, and abstract class contains one feature, that is point number 4. It can have final keywords. I think now it's clear to you that abstract class can have final methods. Means they can use the methods that contain final. It means you cannot reuse same method in the child classes. So it is a facility in abstract classes. So according to these 5 points, now I am moving toward the practical implementation. And one more thing that again I am going to recall the concept of abstraction, is that abstraction is the concept of exposing or showing only the relevant information and characteristics or behaviors or methods with respect to given context. So whatever the real world scenario is, we can perform the abstraction accordingly, where we want to hide the methods in our classes. And one of the good real world example is the ATM machine. Whenever you move toward the ATM machines, basically you perform multiple transactions like cash withdraw, deposit and transfer funds. These methods basically are the abstract method. Means user just perform the transactions, but the user don't know about the internal detail about the ATM, that how ATM machine perform withdraw, transfer and deposit fund transactions. So we are not interested in the implementation detail. So what bank or performs logic in that transaction. So in that case, we can ATM machines uses the concept of abstraction. They use the abstract method in order to hide the implementation of these transactions method from the customers. So after this, I'm moving toward the practical implementation of the abstract class. You can see that this is the already our product class that we have implemented in our previous lecture. This is a simple class that contains 2 data members, that is the product name and price. It have the parameterized constructor, it has the default constructor. Furthermore, it have the display method that display the product name and price, and then in main we have created the product object that pass 2 parameter, product name and product price. So we have called the display method as well. Okay, so in order to perform the In order to perform the abstraction, first thing that I need to implement is that I need to use the keyword of abstract before the class. So this is the product class, so I'm going to use the keyword abstract here. Okay, so this is the abstract method here. Secondly, what you are going to use is that your method should be abstract. So what method, if the class is abstract, then it must contain one abstract method. uh, Otherwise the concept is baseless. Means abstract class must contain one abstract method. So I'm going to use an abstract method that is for example, I can use double, or I can use for my product class I can use calculate discount method as my abstract method. So you can say that this is the abstract method here, abstract double calculate discount. So this is the this is what basically this is our abstract method here. So this is the abstract method. Now the class is abstract because it contains the abstract keyword, and abstract class must contain the abstract method. And why I'm going to make this method abstract, because calculate discount in your real world products, discount calculation is basically hide from the user how we are going to calculate this discount for different products. So for product class, it just contain the abstract method. It means implementation. This class does not contain the implementation of calculate discount method. So where we want to implement this method implementation, for this we need some inherited classes. So yes, for abstraction you have some inherited classes that implement the definition of your abstract method. So now you can see that now your abstract class have abstract method as well as it has non-abstract method. Like this is the display method, it is the non-abstract method, it is the normal member function of your class. So like interface classes, interface class just contain pure abstract method, but just for your abstract classes it contains both abstract method and non-abstract method as well. This is the difference between interfaces and abstract classes. So in order to implement this calculate discount method, I need to inherit my product class with two more classes. So what I need to add, I'm going to add one or two child classes. For example, I'm going to add one class that I'm going to give in the name, for example, electronics. Electronics is the basically inherited child class. Similarly, my product can be electronic and it can be any new product. For example, I am going to import one more class here, that is the class, and I am going to give it the name that is clothing. So these are basically two child class, and I am going to inherit both these classes with my product class. So I am going to extend electronic basically extends the product class. Similarly, my clothing class is the child class, so it extends what? It extends the product class. So in this way I am going to achieve the inheritance among the three different classes. It now contains the error because I have not provided the definition for these method. As I will provide these definition, it will remove. So as electronics, in class electronic, I am going to define my parameterized constructor. So this is the parameterized constructor here, and in my parameterized constructor for electronics I am going to give the parameter. For example, my product class have name and price. I am using the same data members here. I am going to use product name, and I am going to use basically double price of product. So in this way I am going to carry these parameter from the product class. For this in parameterized constructor I have to call the keyword super, because super basically points toward the parent class, that is the product. So whenever values are given in the parameterized constructor for the electronics, it will automatically call the parent class for assigning these values to the parameters. Okay, so this is the parameterized constructor of basically parent class. Similarly, what I need to do more here, I need to provide implementation here for abstraction. Okay, so here in product class I just declare my abstract method, but I do not provide implementation of the abstract method in the product class. So in electronic class I am going to explain, I am going to remove the hidden implementation in my electronic class. So this class basically extend product. Now I can implement my method, that is double calculate discount. So here what I am going to use, I am going to that is calculate discount, that is the calculate discount method. Here I am just providing the definition. Here it is the abstract method, and for the abstract method we have used this. So what I need to implement it here, I am going to return what I am going to return just product price with product price, and I'm going to multiply it with the discount rate, that is 0.10. Okay, so in this way this calculate product message return calculate discount return 10% discount for the product, that is 10% discount for product. So similarly what I'm going to implement more here, my electronic class is now already completed. It called the parameterized constructor for taking the parameter from the parent class, and it implemented the abstract method. So basically this implemented abstract method here. Similarly, what I'm going to do in the clothing class, because it also extend from the product class, here I'm again providing the parameterized constructor for the clothing class in which I want to access the same parameter of parent class, that is the product name and product price. So here I'm going to give the parameter, that is the name of the product, and secondly the price of the product here. And here in the constructor you can see that I am going to call the parent constructor, that is it will take parameter from the parameter. So super basically points to parent class. Now what I need to implement is as electronic implement the calculate discount method. Similarly other product can implement this method. Mean abstract double calculate discount is the abstract method that is implemented by the electronic class, and similarly it is implemented by the clothing class as well. So here I am going to implement the again calculate discount method here, and in this method I am going to return the discount from the product, that is return price is going to be multiplied by the discount. For example it take 0.50 discount. So this is the way, and this basically this method basically implements the abstract method. So in this way, now both our classes contain a definition for the abstract method. Electronics provide the implementation of the abstract method here, and similarly clothing inherited class provide the implementation of the abstract method. Now I'm moving toward the product class. Now what I need to do more is that here one more thing is that as already I have mentioned there, that whenever your class is, I'm going to commit this because whenever your class is abstract, as already we have seen that it is the rule we cannot create the object of the abstract class. So what we need to create the object, we need to create the object for the electronics and clothing class, because really these classes contain implementation of calculate discount. But so we cannot create the object of our abstract class because it just provide the declaration for your abstract method. So here I cannot use this syntax because it created the product object. I need to do is like product p equals to new. Now I can create the electronics electronic class object here. What is the product name? Product name is the laptop, and second thing is that product name, and product name is the electronic, and second attribute was product price is whatever you have mentioned here. I'm going to use this double value here. Similarly, I'm going to use second product, that is product P1 for the electronic, and second product P2 I'm going to create one other object that is for clothing class. Now I am going to use new keyword. New keyword basically create object for that class. So this is for clothing class object. I'm going to give the brand, and now I am going to give the value for that product. Okay, so here I have given the price and the name of my products. So here I need to do what? I need to call the methods p1 dot. Now p1 contains the calculate discount, and similarly p2 contains the calculate discount here. So I can print it here. So you can directly print it here in this way. You can p1 dot or calculate discount, and similarly what I need to do is I can print the values for the calculate account calculate discount method here. I do not need the display method now because it is already inherited from the child classes. So you can see that this is the way how you can implement your main method. And before this I am going to display a message also in order to clarify that this is the this is discount for electronics and this is basically discount for our clothing product. So as I'm going to execute it, now you can see that this discount is for electronic and this is the discount for clothing. So in this way you can see that how your classes perform the implementation of abstract method. So it's all about the abstract classes and abstract method. Thank you very much.